What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a alright day. There is a lot that we need to talk about, so let's do this. So the first thing I gotta talk about is, actually, it's a question in a way. Would you guys like to see a great photo? Well, here we go. Drum roll, please. Yes, that is photos of the officers that were involved of Mr. George Floyd's killing. Now, yesterday, late Wednesday, the Minneapolis PD released 235 pages of personal records for the four former officers that were involved in Mr. Floyd's killing on May 25th, all of whom were fired after that video was shown of his death. Now, as we get updates, Chauvin's charges was moved from third degree to second degree murder, and the three other officers were charged on Wednesday with aiding and abetting second degree murder, as the court records show, and are scheduled to appear in court today on Thursday. Now, many of the pages of the personal files were heavily redacted, but they revealed a lot of details on the officers' lives and when they joined the department and their time with the police force. Now, Chauvin was the first person, of course. He appears to have been reprimanded and possibly suspended after a woman complained about him in 2007 that he needlessly removed her from a car, searched her, and put her in the back of his squad car for driving 10, not 5, not 2, but 10 miles an hour over the speed limits. That's a little too much right there. And he was the subject of 17 misconduct complaints, but the one with this lady was like so detailed. It was 79 pages that went on his file, and the file showed that the complaint was upheld and that Mr. Chauvin was issued a letter of reprimand. Now, King, he had been on the force for less than 6 months. So he joined the force when he was a cadet in February 2019, and he became an officer in 2019 of December, as his personal records show. Now, he previously worked as a community service officer with the department while he earned his bachelor's degree in sociology at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. Now, otherwise, most of his personal file was blacked out, including whether or not he had a driver's license, whether he lived in Minneapolis, whether if he had any convictions along for a long list of crimes, whether he was a U.S. citizen, and what his GPA was for college. That's a little bit suspicious if you don't mind me asking. And there's a few other things as well. Now, Lane was the next person to be included as well. He did not graduate from high school. However, he did get his GED, and then he got an associate's degree from the Central College, my apologies, and a bachelor's degree from the University of Minnesota in criminology. And just hearing about these guys here there's more and more to it along the way. And then there's Tao, if I hope I said his last name correctly. He had at least 6 complaints in his career at the Minneapolis PD, and he was also at the subject of a lawsuit that claimed that he and another officer punched, kicked, and kneed an African-American man, thus having the man have broken teeth and bruises along the way. So, hearing about all this, about the officers being arrested, this is really good news. Now, granted, it's a start for the other officers, but there needs to be more with Chauvin and everything else along the way, as the family stated they wanted him to be with first-degree murder. Now, there is a long process to be made with this, but again, seeing this photo, this is actually a good stepping stone for this case for Mr. Floyd and everything else along the way. Don't you agree? Now, I've talked about updates towards George Floyd, and I've talked about the updates for Breonna Taylor, but people are probably wondering, what about Ahmaud Arbery? What about his case? Well, we found out today from a Georgia investigator that testified that one of the defendants who chased down and killed Ahmaud Arbery heard another defendant use a racial slur after shooting Mr. Arbery. Now, at a Preliminary hearing of the case, the investigator said that William Roddy Bryan, who used his cell phone to film the encounter of the killing of Mr. Arbery, said that he heard the remarks of Mr. Travis McMichael, who pulled the trigger on him. Richard Dow, the Georgia Bureau of Investigative Agents Special Agent in charge of the case, said that Mr. Bryan heard Mr. McMichael use the slur after shooting took place and before the police arrived at the scene. The slur, it was F-N-word. Now, I'm not going to say that, but you can look it up later on. Now, as we know, the McMichaels were arrested and charged with murder and aggravated assault. And William Bryan, who said that he did nothing, he was actually charged with felony murder and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. Now, these gentlemen remain in the Glenn County Jail and have not yet received a plea via the case. Now, hearing about this, there's just so much happening to people. Like, a lot with this case and a lot with George Floyd and a lot with Breonna Taylor and all the other cases as well. This is just, again, a stepping stone towards what's to come. We got to get this changed. We got to continue on with this. These men should be, you know, they should be in jail for a long period of time and so much more. But, you know, other people have thoughts about this. So what are your thoughts about this, to let me know what do you guys think about this case? So on social media, you know, people have all these challenges that people do and everything along the way. People have a lot on TikTok. I'm not getting a TikTok because I just don't want TikTok, but I have like Instagram, you know, Facebook, all that kind of stuff, Twitter. You know, there's all these challenges like flip the switch, you know, the wipe it down, etc., etc., etc. But in the past few days, have you happened to hear about the George Floyd challenge? No? Yeah, this is an actual thing. This showed up on Snapchat, showing dozens of teenagers mocking Mr. Floyd's death that happened in Minneapolis. Now, the participants, who are mostly white males and, you know, women as well, are seen smiling in the photos and kneeling down on the necks of their friends. And, you know, screenshots of this post were made after Mr. Floyd's death, and they have been seen on Twitter, drawing condemnation and disgust from thousands of people online. Now, people are saying you should blur these people's faces out so that way they shouldn't be known. I think not. Okay. My question to these kids, well, in general, is, you know, it's something my mom wants. You know, she always says it to me. But have you lost your damn mind? Like, seriously, have you lost your damn mind? With everything happening, you think this is funny to do this sort of things? Now, to the parents of those children, and they say to those kids that you aren't in trouble for this, have you lost your damn mind as well? Because that's not right. You think this is all fun and games, but what if that was your child? Okay? What if that was your child and somebody did this challenge? You wouldn't be laughing at, would you? If you happen to see people doing this, call them out. Let people know. Don't blur out their face or everything. Call them out. I had one guy, when I shared the pictures, he was like, I'm gonna put my knee on them. I'm like, nah, don't do that, man, because that's not a good thing. Okay? But if you happen to see somebody doing this, call that person out, because that's not right. Okay? I just gotta say, you know, over the past few days, I have been working nonstop, putting these videos out and everything. There's times when I'm up until like 5 in the morning working on these videos and making sure it's right and whatnot. And then there's times when I do them, and then afterwards I just want to yell out as much as I can. But, you know, I want people to know something, and I want everybody to know this. You know, if you shame somebody who isn't posting on social media about like Black Lives Matter, that basically isn't helpful or fair to that person. You know, it doesn't mean that they don't care or that they are a bad person. You know, the moment we saw the video of George Floyd and, you know, Ahmaud Arbery, you know, people went straight into social media to talk about this and everything else on the way. Now, as a black man, I just want to say, we don't need everyone to talk. We want y'all to listen. The main goal across this whole thing is about change. And there are so many ways you can do that. You can self-reflect. You can do political pressure. You can, protest peacefully, people. You can educate yourself as well. Now, I want y'all to listen. I want y'all to learn. I want y'all to reflect on what I, as a black man, have to say towards racism. Growing up, yeah, I've almost heard of all, and there are times when I thought, should I do this, and I, should I retract, everything is on the way, and it's just a lot to deal with. And I just want to say, don't just assume because they don't post anything regarding what's happening, just to pressure them into liking, just make sure that you are actually there for us. Because people are saying, yeah, I'm for Black Lives Matter, but if, say, in September, October, this is all dying down, and people are like, no, I'm not, I was there for hype and everything. What the hell? You have to show your support. You got to be there for us. There's a lot, like I say, that we have to talk about in this society. There's a lot we got to talk about in the world. And for all this, it's just, we want y'all to listen. We want y'all to know how we are feeling with all this. Now, right now, or later on when I show the video, or this video is being posted, George Floyd's funeral is being televised. It's on, I'm watching it and everything. I'm watching it, a little bit of it, and it's truly beautiful. But a lot is happening right now, people, and we have got to be there. We want y'all to listen, like point blank. We want y'all to know what is happening for us as black people. Parents, are you teaching your kids about racism? I know that lady that I talked to in my last video, Lana Flume, when her children see this, they gonna know and ask, Mom, what the hell? But we want y'all to listen, to learn, and reflect on what we have going on towards racism, okay? I want y'all to be safe. I love all you guys, so much, okay? Like, share, comment, subscribe. Whenever you subscribe, hit that bell so you know I have a new video out, as always. And again, I love you guys all the time.